Hey guys, I'm Stephanie and this is Steph Stove, and today I'm going to show you how to make a carrot pie. Now, if you've never tried a carrot pie, you're in for a real treat. The carrot pie is paired with those warm spices and that wonderful sweet carrot flavor, and I dare say, once you try it, it may become your very favorite pie recipe. So, let me show you how I did it. All right, for our carrot pie, first thing we need, obviously, is carrots. Now, I'm using baby carrots for these, and then once you get them, I just go ahead and rinse them off, and then I'm going to chop them up. I'm just going to use my knife here, and I'm going to chop these into four little pieces, kind of about like this. I'll put that in my bowl over there, and again, just into fours. If you have some pieces that are extremely large, you may want to cut them in half, like most of them are the little small sizes, but sometimes you get a few of the little carrots that are extremely large. And what you're going for, you need about 4 cups. Now, for my 4 cups, just so you get a measurement or a guesstimation here, this is a 2-pound bag, so I used about half of this to get this 4 pounds. So about 1 pound of the baby carrots will work. Now, if you're using the whole carrots, where you're going to peel them and chop the ends off, you may need closer to 2 because you're going to end up chopping quite a bit of them off. Now, the next thing we need to do, I'm just going to get a regular size pot here. Take my carrots that are nice and chopped, and I do try to get them all, you can see here, like a uniform size, because if they're a similar size, they'll cook evenly. Add those to my pot. And then we're going to come in, and I'm going to take some water. I'll move this over here so you can see a little bit better. And I'm going to cover these in water to about an inch. Kind of move these down even. And remember, an inch is about the first divot of your finger. Usually I just eyeball it, but I do try to be a little bit more specific when I'm talking to you guys. And for me, that was about 4 cups of water in there as well. Just so you know, kind of more exact. Now we're going to put this on our stove. We're going to turn our eye on medium-high heat and bring this to a boil. So as soon as this comes to a boil, we'll be right back. All right, we've got a good strong boil going now. So since we're up to a boil, we're going to let this continue for about 10 to 15 minutes. And what we're looking for, I'm actually going to turn it down to just a little bit. I'll turn it down to about 6. It was on 7 on my dial here. But what I want this to do is continue to be at a low boil until these are fork tender. And that should take, again, anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, depending on the size of your carrots. So, be back in about 10 to 15 minutes, and we'll check these to see that they're fork tender. All right, our timer's going off, so our carrots have been going about 10 minutes. And so, there should be fork tender. So, this is what I'm looking for. So, if you're not sure exactly what I'm talking about, I'm going to scoop up some of the carrots, and I'll try to get one that's a little bit bigger, just to ensure all of them are cooked well. So when they are fork tender, I should be able to take just a regular dinner fork and without any effort, just go straight into the center. Now, if you have to push hard, they're not quite done, but you should be able to push very easily into the carrot for them to be done. So I'm going to turn that off for just a minute, and I'm going to move over just a little bit, and let's talk about our pie crust. For our pie crust, I've got my cookie sheet here, and I've lined it with just a silicone mat. This is a deep dish pie crust. You can make your own pie crust, and I've got great recipes for that, or you can just buy one, whatever you choose. Now, no matter what it is, I'm going to come in, I'm just going to take that same dinner fork, no sense in getting a new one, and I'm just going to poke holes. This is docking the pie crust so it will not puff up. We are going to pre-bake this for just a few minutes. Now, I do like the silicone mat on here as opposed to the parchment because you can see it's not going to move. Now, our oven, we're going to preheat it to 350 degrees and get this preheated. Once it's preheated, we're going to blind bake this just as it is for about 10 minutes so the bottom can go ahead and start browning. So, I get an oven preheated, then we'll get this in just a couple minutes. Alrighty, our oven's up to temperature, so we're going to go ahead and put our pie in here, pie crust. and let it kind of pre-bake for about 10 minutes. All right, while our crust is pre-baking, we need to go ahead and take our carrots and turn my water on. And we need to drain them. Just going to drain these in a colander. Get these out of the pot. Because the pot is still really hot and we don't want them to continue to cook. Just going to rinse them with some cool water. Make sure that way if I have anything else remaining in the pot, it will come out. And let's move back over to the stove. All right, while our crust is pre-baking, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna process everything, and I'm gonna use my Vitamix for this because it's gonna get everything nice and smooth. If you don't have a Vitamix, make sure you're using a high-powered blender for this or a food processor. So, first thing I'm gonna do, let's get my carrots out, and I had these left in the strainer to get any of the extra water out. Put all my carrots in my Vitamix. And if you have a Vitamix, you know, because these things are amazing. Now, next thing we're going to add to this, get this out real quick. And I like this because my particular can opener, some of y'all have seen it here, it opens from the bottom. And so for this recipe, I won't use all, so I can cap it using the top. We're going to take, this is sweetened condensed milk, so this is the good stuff. And I'm going to measure out, we're going to use 1 cup of it, or 8 ounces, a little over half of the can. Make sure that's pretty close. Actually, let's use a tad more. And you'll have just a little bit left over. You can add that to your coffee or whatever you like. So we're going to pour that in. All of that out of our measuring cup. Make sure you get all that good stuff, because that sweetened condensed milk, that's the good stuff there. And the good thing, like I said about this, I can put this in the refrigerator, so I can just take that and literally put the lid right back on it with a can opener. Another reason I love this can opener. All right, next thing we're going to add to this, we're going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm just going to guesstimate here. I'm just grinding it upside down so I can get some measure. Looks about right. See how close I am. That's pretty darn good. Cut right there. So 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Now you can use table salt for it, but I'm using the sea salt. Kind of the options up to you. Next thing we're going to add some seasoning. I'm going to use some ground nutmeg. In here, the ground nutmeg, we're using 1.5 teaspoons. So there's a half. And there's 1. So some of y'all see these are my little cat measuring spoons. I love them. I'm a cat fan. Might be some cats. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to use some vanilla extract in here. Now for vanilla extract, you can use regular vanilla extract, or, and I just thought, I really haven't done this on camera a lot, even though I do make it and use it. This is vanilla bean paste. So I have a video on how to make vanilla bean paste. You don't have to wait as long as you do with homemade vanilla extract, and it measures 1 to 1. So I'm using 1 teaspoon of the vanilla bean paste. If you only have the homemade vanilla extract, use 1 teaspoon as well. And you can see it is thick. We're going to get some of those little pieces of vanilla bean in there. Figure it's coming up to Easter, it's special. So why not? Why not? Next thing we need to add to it, we've only got a few ingredients here to all this goodness. We're going to add 2 large eggs. And I've had my eggs sitting out at room temperature. I'm going to crack these and add them one at a time just to be sure that they are good and everything looks really nice. There's 1. If you watched me before, I don't like to add more than 1 egg at a time because I like to inspect them. So that's 2 eggs. That's it. Now we just need to process this. So make sure your lid is on tight no matter what instrument you're using for this. It's a little loud, so I'll speed this up so I can control the volume for you. Here we go. All right, now that we've got everything blended nice and fine, and I'm not sure if you can see, but look at those little flecks of the vanilla bean with the paste in there. I'll show you this. Look how smooth this is. This is why I love the Vitamix right here. And if you've ever went to like places like Smoothie King or a lot of the places like that, this is what they use. The place that serves coffee, my friend calls it Big Bucks. You know what it is? They use these as well. That's why, because they're super, super smooth. Now we have just about a minute left on our pie crust. Then we're going to pour this in and get it baking up. All right, our crust is finished with its pre-bake. And it is puffed up just a little bit, and then I'll go right back down. Actually, let me get my fork. And I'll help that down just a little bit. Let's get a little closer so you can see what's going on. See, it is a little puffy. And so I just took my fork and I'm just kind of easing it down. I do like to pre-bake crust like this because the last thing that I do not want to have is my crust to be soggy. Now, let's add our beautiful filling to this. I may have just 1 or 2 chunks in there, but that will be just fine. This is where, again, that deep dish pie crust comes in handy. So I think I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to put the rest in a little custard cup on the side so I can have an extra one. Let me grab one real quick. All right, here we go. Let's just get a little extra in this little custard cup. Get all that in there. And so we'll have one that'll be kind of like a little crustless one. I'll definitely enjoy this one as well. And you could also do this if you had a friend that was, or someone in your family that was gluten-free. You could always make them either a gluten-free crust or a little crustless version like this. I know we didn't have any gluten, but anyone with a gluten allergy, but my mom would often do that just to have a little extra. All right, now we're going to pop this in the oven. Remember, we're still at 350 degrees. Let's get this baking. All right, here we go. Pull this out and get it in here. And again, this is where the cookie sheet really comes in handy because you can move everything very nicely. Now, in the middle of our cooking, if by chance our crust starts to get a little brown, we'll put a crust shield over it. If you don't have that, you can just put a little aluminum foil around the edges so it won't brown too quickly. Let's put this in here in the oven, and this is going to bake for about 45 minutes or until our center is nice and set. So see you back 45 minutes. Our timer's going off. Let's get that stopped. Check out our pretty pie here. Now, you can see our center is nice and set. Look at our pretty pie. Gorgeous, gorgeous pie. Let's put it up here on a wire cooling rack. We'll get that closed up. Let's move a little bit closer here so you can see this. Turn our oven off. And our pie is nice and set. And we may have a little jiggle in the center, just a slight jiggle, but remember it will continue to set as it cools. Now our pie does need to set at least 1 hour and completely cool before we slice it. So we're going to let this sit and cool on a rack, and then we'll be back in a little while to slice, taste, and enjoy. Alrighty, our carrot pie cooled for about an hour, and because I had a little errands to run, I went ahead and popped it in the refrigerator for just a little bit while I was finishing my errands today. And if you have the extra time, it's even better chilled. Now, it's equally delicious a little warm, but you do need the hour to let it set. So, let me show you how pretty it is. Look at that. Look at that pretty color. And just a beautiful pie. Some people will actually think it's a sweet potato pie. So, when they taste it, they're like, oh, What is that? It's creamy, custard-like texture on the inside and just yummy. Lost that into the crust, but that's okay. All right, let's get this pulled out. There's that little extra piece of crust that I lost, but that's okay. And another little trick here, when you're getting this first piece of pie out, if you want to, you can come in with a pair of scissors and snip right here, especially if you're using a pre-baked crust, and trim that down. That'll help you get it out a lot easier. All right, now let's go in for that slice. And my little edges fell off, but that's all right. Look at this. Look how pretty this is. Look at that piece of pie. Look at there. Look at there. I'm Stephanie. This has been Steph Stove, where today we made this. Look at this beauty here. This carrot pie. Yummy, yummy, yummy. That somebody look at and they say, "Oh, is that sweet potato?" No, it's carrots. Look how creamy that center is. Just delicious with those warm spices. Now, I did use the vanilla bean paste. I'm not sure if you can see it through there. And you will see more flecks of the vanilla in there. I'll do a link so you can see the video if you've not seen it already. Just delicious. And I did let this one chill. It's good once you let it sit for about an hour and then slice it, so it'll slice up beautifully. If you have a chance to let it chill, it's even better. And remember, I had a little extra. I used a deep dish pie dish, and I used the side one. I ate about half of it while it was still warm. So I put the rest in the refrigerator because I was going to eat the whole thing. So it is delicious. So you can make a little side dish. I was polishing this off earlier. It's just yummy. And it's a carrot, so it's a vegetable and good for us. So remember, give us a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button for more great content like this. Steph Stove, we're making memories one dish at a time. I do hope you try this pie recipe, and it very well may be your favorite pie recipe. Let it chill. It'll be great in the refrigerator for about 3 to 4 days, or it freezes well too. Let it cool off, wrap it tightly in plastic wrap and then aluminum foil. Freeze it for up to 3 months. Just delicious. Enjoy, guys. Thanks for watching.